all right. So, if you are a Sun and Taurus person, you have another placement that you may not know so much about, and this is actually your Earth placement in Scorpio. Now, why I say this is because let me give you a little introduction here. So, you're a Taurus, right? People are under the assumption that like this sign doesn't really feel very strongly at all, and they're very like logic and thought based, and they're very like grounded in what they have, and it's just like, where does this grounding and like strong fixated feeling come from? Your Earth and Scorpio, man. The lighter manifestations have like their little they're like, you can look at Earth kind of like a little like a bus stop on the way to a physical manifestation, man. If it's accumulating in your Earth sign, it'll likely manifest itself here soon. And that's just what it is, man. Earth is the planet of like scheduling, nurturing, being that you're a Taurus sun sign, you probably understand these energies very well, because I've heard a lot of people say, the names for Earth, man. Torah, Gaia. Why the fuck do you think it's called Torah, man? It's a Taurus sign. It's at home here, man. What you're seeing is you being at home because you have a very detailed understanding of how it is that you like to, of how you like to freaking, look at these situations being like, oh, okay, if I wish to do this, I need this, 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 and this, and then I can feel okay, which is half the battle, man. Feeling strongly about what you want to do. That's like, if you don't have any strength in how you feel about something, that will reflect right back at you, man. If you're just with everything, everything is going to be right back at you. So you got to have some strong feeling and know how you can get it, so you can actually have enjoyment in your life, and things will actually reflect themselves in the equal strength that you want it to. Don't be a fence sitter, man. Tauruses know this the best, man. They know where they want to be, how they want to do it, and when they want to do it. Now, what I'm talking about with this whole Earth and Scorpio stuff is where this feeling comes from. You know what I'm saying? So let's run down the planets of like what Scorpio is. So Scorpio is ruled by Mars. It is also co-ruled by Pluto. And then, here, let me just look these up real quick. And then it is away in... Oh, I forgot. I should have just bounced off the freaking Taurus, man, because it's the opposite. It's the opposite sign, so it's got the opposite rulerships and the things that it's home with. But anyway, it's away in Earth and Venus. And then it falls in the Moon, So reacting and responding is something that you don't do with your inner emotions and all that stuff. You don't do that with your inner feelings. You keep them to yourself because it's not practical. That's how it appears, but how you feel is like, I don't want to do it, man. I don't feel as though that I can I don't feel as though that like I can grow these things and express them and relate them in a proper way that will make sense to people, or at least I don't feel comfortable doing it, because it's not true that you don't know how to express it properly. You're a freaking Taurus Earth sign, man. You just kind of buy into that, like, it's not practical with this person, it's not practical with that person. I need to be in the proper space before I can feel comfortable. And that feeling of like you not feeling comfortable comes from your Scorpio Earth sign, man. Scorpio is a real like holding it down till they are certain in every possible emotional aspect of where this can appear. You just kind of like, I don't want to necessarily say that you feel that way and you react to it that way in the sense of your moon, because it's a totally different thing. But it's just like, this is just how the situation like manifests itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like you're reacting. It's just like how the air, like, it's how like the aura of that experience feels to you when it's really just all you, because it's your Earth sign and it's how the situation is manifesting itself for you. Now how you can really so my favorite way to like usually like spark these emotions in people is kind of like going on a belligerent tangent and making people like really getting people's emotions riled up. And that's sort of how you can see it. So this same thing sort of applies for Taurus sun signs. So like Tauruses, they won't necessarily, like, say you're pissing off a Taurus, right? They won't really do anything about it for a long time, because they know that you may be the type of person that just talks out of your ass. You know what I'm saying? But they'll just let you talk and talk and talk and talk and talk until one day where the Pluto aspect of this Earth and Scorpio sign plays out, where it's like they've built up enough power in the freaking like behind their feeling of how they don't want to do something, right? And they just won't be able to stand it anymore. And once that like feeling gets to here, where the freaking, this is the Scorpio on Earth is that steam coming out of the bull's ears. This is where that comes from, man. That freaking, like, think about it. Pluto and Mars going together. Mars is red hot. Pluto is ice cold. Coming together, man. They start zzz, and then it doesn't form as sweat, man. When two chakras come together, it does not form as sweat. They are not like to see themselves sweat. Well, that's another point there. That's another point that I got to talk about. But yeah, once these two things come together, it's like they just can't stand it anymore. And you know what? The bull has enough energy to knock your ass over, man. And depending on how mad they are in the moment, or if they have any love for you, or if they don't, depends on if they're going to point their horns at you. Because if these people don't really like you, and they feel like they already feel like they're at work, because Taurus, Taurus it does okay in the sun. But what I meant to say is Scorpio it's away in Earth. It feels like it's at work, man. It can't, think about it. Earth is, it's supposed to be fertile, nurturing, and things are supposed to grow on a schedule, right? When it's under the layer of ice, nothing's going to grow, man. There's not much that hospitable in, like, the layer of permafrost deep down in the crust of the Earth, Nothing much grows there other than bacteria, minerals, and frozen-ass freaking ground. Like, that's just what it is, man. Things aren't going to move until you push it to move. This is where this is part of, where that Taurus stubbornness comes from. The freaking Scorpio and Earth sign. Now, touching back on the whole, damn, I had a point. Wait, let me get that point. So I was talking about Taurus being, once people push them to a feeling that they don't want to be in, they will just do everything, kick around like a freaking bull in a freaking, what's the word? A rodeo. They'll just be kicking around until they can get everything out of here. And no clown is going to stop them from kicking it, man. Like, once they have you in their sights, you just better get knocked over, hide, get out of your way, get in your barrel, do whatever you have to do, man. A pissed off Taurus, a Taurus and Earth sign is exactly like a bull in a rodeo. Just don't push them, man. Don't even put them in the rodeo. Don't even be a clown in front of their ass, just like being like, look at me, because all they want to do is just knock you over, man. Taurus Sun people have no time for people bullshitting around, even though, unless it's the time that where they set the space where it's like, okay, we can bullshit around. But if you do it too much, they're just not gonna have it, man. They aren't gonna have it. But yeah, let's look at some more signs and see what we can scrounge from this Earth and Scorpio situation. It falls in the moon. They don't want this kind of touches back on the whole space of, like, if they were to say, like, be in a therapy situation where they are actually spilling their guts to you and talking about their feelings, you are a very special person to that Taurus. They value you. You are a person that probably gives them reinforcement as to that you are their friend. You are showing them because they want to see that. And then they will basically, like, a Taurus spilling their guts and showing their emotions to you is a crazy situation, man. It doesn't happen because they may be under the structure and, like, value system that emotions are supposed to be kept to yourselves. And, like, with this whole, like, even if they do go to therapy and talk about their emotions, man, they will be you got to melt that ice very, 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 very slowly. Because if you do melt it quickly and they have nothing to walk on and it starts skidding and being like, it's like a bull on ice, man. They don't like it, man. They have to have solidity, something to understand, something to hold on to. If you melt that water too quickly, you will get an emotional rush on you, much like attacking. Because it'll just be like, it'll be the equivalent to the bull in the rodeo spot, man. Like, they won't have anything to stand on. They won't have any freaking feeling of safety, a safe space, nothing. And they will just, it's a slippery slope, man. You're gonna get the horns, you're gonna get stung, and that's what it is, man. Watch out. Just keep the freaking. They don't want to be in that emotional space. They don't like it, but they feel strongly, man. Tauruses feel fucking strong. And just, be wary if you are allowed in that space. But anyways, I'm getting off track. I'm gonna kill it. But yeah, so let's go over the freaking Earth and all the Scorpio signs once more. So, it falls in the moon, it's away in Venus, it's away in Earth, it's co-ruled by Pluto, and it is ruled by Mars. Watch out, don't push these signs too hard on emotional points because they will run your ass over.